Okay, people, we're here in Occupy Atlanta. We're a little over a week into it. It's now October 16th, and we're with Scott. I'm going to have Scott introduce himself. Scott's got some really good, insightful information to share with us. He was actually up in New York to Occupy Atlanta for 5 days, and like I said, he's originally from here. So there's going to be some really good information you can share with all of us.
So yeah, what's up? My name's Scott Simpson. I'm originally from Atlanta, went to school up in Indiana, and then I'm employed here as a waiter, which is a job that took me 5 months to find after graduation.
5 months?
5 months, and I'm a trained brewer and audio engineer.
Wow. And isn't the city full of music here? This is like, you know, a big city for the music industry.
Yeah, and I shouldn't be so quick to say that, because part of it is I've been fairly selective about the audio companies I'll work with, because some of them tend to just cycle through people really quickly, and they have a high turnover rate, so I'm trying to find a good company to work for.
Okay.
So part of it is I am being picky, but I have a lot of skills that can be used, and I'm good at it, but I'm not seeing much interest in it. But so yeah, I saw the Occupy Wall Street stuff going on, and I figured, you know, I'll go up for a day, check it out, and go hang around New York for another day, go see a few friends that I have up there, that sort of thing. And when I got up there, I didn't leave the park once.
You stayed in the park the whole time?
The whole time. It was the only times that I left were with other groups. What they have up there is they have a running list of people who have volunteered their showers and other things, people that live in the area.
So they sound kind of organized.
Absolutely. We have an info desk. We have an entire media center. We have a comfort station which takes care of the donations of sleeping bags and tarps and clothes and all that sort of stuff that we receive. We have a fully fledged kitchen that has received so many donations that they have to have a storage space off-site for all the non-perishables, because we're running through all the perishables and we're not even able to use all those up on a daily basis. The outpouring of support has been literally overwhelming. All the people there are doing is trying to cope with the amount of volunteer labor and supplies that they're getting, and you know, trying to build an infrastructure to really utilize all of it.
From your first day you went out there, on day one that you personally went out there, what do you think the actual crowd size was, the numeric, versus what it was the last day you left?
At any given point, well, sleeping in the park, there's between 300 and 600 people a night.
And this park is smaller than this park we have here in Atlanta?
It's, I'd say, roughly the same size, probably a little bit smaller.
Okay.
And with no real green space, so it's all concrete, so everybody's sleeping on whatever they can throw down under their sleeping bags. But during the day, you know, by 5, 6 o'clock, the crowd size is up to at least 2,000 people in that park. I mean, it is absolutely crazy. To the point that for a while they were having problems getting working groups together to have meetings. So they've started to move those to off-site locations. Okay. But yeah, they've had to move to off-site locations in order to be able to have a meeting and to get people in one space and be able to hear each other. There's a probably 3-page list of working groups that all report back at General Assembly, and these are anywhere from a sanitation crew, a security crew, all the way up to the arts and culture working group, mine, which was the information group. There's a people of color of Occupied Wall Street. There's actually a Spanish table where people who only speak Spanish can go. So
it's inclusion and diversity.
Absolutely.
And working together as a team.
And that's really the point, is that everyone wants everyone's voices to be heard. It is messy, it is chaotic, but at the end of the day, we get enough of the good points of all of those points of view to build something better than what we had originally.
You know, what was I know they were trying to get them out of the park. Tell me about how that went about and how you guys worked around that.
First, the owners of the park changed the rules to include no sleeping bags, no tarps, no people lying down.
It's a private park.
It's a privately owned public space.
Oxymoron.
Yes, it is. It's this really strange legal gray area. And we actually found out recently that not only is Bloomberg's girlfriend on the board of directors for the company that owns the park, but several of those people also have high stakes in groups that are building the Keystone XL pipeline, doing a lot of the tar sands work and that sort of thing. So these are very, polluting companies and companies that we try to speak out against.
This sounds like corporate money tied into our government of our elected officials.
That's exactly what it is. It was public space created by this company in return for the building that they built next to it being allowed to break the zoning laws and have a taller building.
Gotcha.
So whatever you think about that, the parks definitely proved useful, so maybe that was a good idea.
And so you had to deal with some kind of grandfather clause to be able to clean the park?
Yes, for the new rules to take effect, we had to leave and come back. So they tried to force us out to say we have to clean the park and then you can come back in. It's cleaner there than any of the surrounding areas. People really take care of that space. There's a full sanitation crew working at all times. But when we heard that, and we figured out what the rules were, we started a huge cleaning initiative. $3,000 was dispersed to the sanitation crew, and we got donations of power washers and mops and all sorts of stuff like that, and we cleaned the park. And then there was, I'm not sure, I wasn't there the next day, so I'm not sure if the march happened, but someone said we should march through Lower Manhattan and clean up the rest of the area, starting with Wall Street.
Tongue-in-cheek there.
Yeah. So I don't know if that happened. I wasn't there, but that was definitely something brought up. And even in the middle of all this tension, somebody mic checked, demanded everybody's attention, and said, "Can we be assured that all of the cleaners used will be environmentally friendly?"
Okay, so they're contributing back to society and making sure we leave it better than what we started with.
Well, and that's the whole idea, is that I didn't know that person at all. I had never seen them before, but they were able to raise a good point even when everybody else's focus was somewhere else. That's why we try to include everyone, and that's why everyone needs a voice within the movement.
Thank you, Scott. And we're going to have a part 2 of this, as I'd like to hear your contrast of what you saw in Atlanta now versus what you saw in New York, and how we can move the Atlanta to a more cohesive, organized process to move forward to get recognition for Atlanta like how we've seen in other cities throughout the U.S.
Okay.